shadows where the secrets dwell. Maria whispers with a cosmic spell, channeling messages from the stars above. Orsic's legacy, a mystery of love. Frill energy flows, transcending time, a bridge to the heavens, a force so sublime. Maria, oh Maria, spirit divine, dancing in the cosmos, a light that will shine. From the Vril Society to infinity's door, unlocking our potential, forever we'll soar. Lost in the echoes of a war-torn night, she vanished like a comet, out of our sight. A visionary queen, ruling the unknown in the metaphysical realms. She stands alone, communicating wisdom, an extraterrestrial song. Her essence remains bold and strong. Maria, oh Maria, spirit divine, dancing in the cosmos, a light that will shine. From the Vril Society to infinity's door, unlocking our potential, forever we'll soar. Embrace the connection, let the mystery unfold. Maria Orsic truth, a story retold.
In Trash City on Party Avenue, I've got a girl from Kalamazoo. In Trash City on a transit line, you put me on hold, but you're sure looking fine. Motherfucker. It never fucking fails. It never fucking fails. Maybe I should change the song to Jah, 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 please hear my plea. Jah, Jah, pure and naturally. Well, everything I tried to do always turns out wrong, it's true. Pure frustration surrounds me. So Jah, Jah, please hear my plea. Jah, Jah, pure and naturally. For I have been down in Babylon, and no one will lend me a helping hand. Pure frustration surrounds me. So I say, whoa, whoa, Jah, Jah, please hear my plea. Jah, Jah, pure and naturally. For I've been down so long in Babylon, America. No one to give I a helping hand. Remember, my brothers and sisters, recover, my brothers and sisters. Return, my sisters and brothers. And all hail Mama Orsic. Whoa, whoa. Om. In Jah name. Om. Jah in me. Hail Alleluia. Hail Alleluia me. For there are, all the blah, blah, blah of the whole world. The one God, there's one God, there's one. What is fucking God in word? I don't care if you're black, white, red, from the north, south, east, west. I guess I'm going to hell. I mean, in hella, who, of course, is Ella. And her father, Lou, is, of course, L. And someone might say, this sure does sound incestuous. Is that a word? Because when you become one with someone, everything becomes a joke. Because you're, like Maria said, like in love. It's like you're in love. Always. Forevermore. As it is, so be it. You know what I mean? In that state of oneness, I mean, you tell me it's a coincidence that, the opposite of to lose is to have one. And I can hear Mother Momo, the beautiful one, hail to your holy name, your only name, your beautiful name, your loveliness, the one and only, known back home, Scorpio goddess of the new astrology, and the new set of gods for the third type of human. There was the giant human, the small human, and the Venusian human. Or you might say the energy human, or the light human, or whatever you want to say. When we leave our bodies after death, we revert back to our memory. I mean, and it's like the default. We revert back to our memory because the real world is nowhere else but within, and start to imagine, because we're on the astral plane, as some call it, we start to remember and imagine what we were like. What we were like one moment before we were born on Earth. And on Earth means in the holographic Earth. And holographic Earth means a hologram is defined as the entire scope, depth, height, width of the entire hologram is, and has to be, by law of nature. This is how the hologram works. It's the smallest particle of the hologram, no matter how big it is. The smallest particle contains the whole hologram. And Mother is saying that's technology, my nigga. And you might say, Jah, Jah, please hear my plea. Allah, Jah. 'Cause for so long, it has been the fucking same. And let's give thanks to each and every plant. The wonders of passion flower we've been talking about later. Where was this phrase? You need a personal relationship with God. That's GAWD. I really don't know what that is. I mean, I know what a goddamn dog is. God backwards, right? But what the hell is a GAWD? There was things as a child, because I'm a Leo moon, Leo sun, Scorpio moon, Virgo rising. The little bitch in me was bothered by things. I was telling my friend this the other day. I really loved my cousin, but he had this habit of like sniffling and wiping his nose and making these sounds. For the life of me, at 5, 6, 7 years old, 8, I could not understand why I hated it so much. I almost felt like, man, I'd just rather not even be around you at all. But I was just being honest. And as a kid, these are the things that keep me up at night. Like, why am I like this? What the fuck is wrong with me? What kind of N-word am I? Doo-doo. And that was Virgo rising. That was the Virgo rising in me. That when I was in church, and my mother didn't force anything on me. She was way too dumb to do that. She completely did me a favor by showing me how absolutely, totally boring God was. And every time the dude said God, I was like, fuck you, man. In my like 6-year-old mind, 7-year-old mind. Like, man, everyone around here says God. Or, I mean, at least, God. No one in our neighborhood. No one that we knew. None of my friends. Moms, dads, none of my moms. People, family, nothing. No one said God. And God. I asked my mom, I guess I was probably like 10 years old. I was like, I can't remember his name. I was like, this is Mr. Whoever, Pastor Whoever. Is he from St. Louis? Well, yeah, I think he is. He's been doing this for a long time. I said, why does he say God? God. What is God? And I can hear Maria saying, isn't that like 80s Joe, like Valley Girl talk? Like, oh my God. I was like, I get you. Same spirit. Same essence. This motherfucker, you don't know God, from dog, from cat, from your own fucking head in your ass. Sorry, I don't mean to be gross. But really, I mean, you people are gonna, and I'm talking with the people who understand what we're saying, believe in what we're saying, and believe it, we're not going to ask you for anything. We don't need anything. Maybe if I needed something, maybe I would ask someone, but I don't. Not yet. Just kidding. Because what a supernatural journey. And Mr. God, he taught me that God is the boringest thing that ever existed. Because Hollywood, the movies, at least there was some variety. But in the land of God, there was just a repeating broken record. God is a mean-ass Jewish dickhead that will fucking torture you forever if you don't just admit that you're evil. And what constitutes evil before this prick in the sky is perfection. Anything less than absolute perfection, like in the thinking child person says, well, what do you mean by perfection? Well, we have made sure that you were born into a vibration. It's a magic vibration of two completely unreal opposites. And the opposites are the chosen who believe in God and the evil atheists that believe in evolve, love backwards. And before you get any ideas, I don't believe anything is evolving. Because things are not what they appear. You're looking at one level, one version of a multi-trillion leveled device. It's so sophisticated, you don't know the name of it. And it's very funny, isn't it, that it would come to be known as Ma's tricks. May, the 5th month, May's tricks, matrix. And it's Ma, May, Mary, Maria, Maya. All is illusion. Everything's an illusion. You can carry on in the goddamn fucking charade. But for our people, the foundation of our very chosen belief system is Everything is so surface and so weak that we just say it's an illusion. The energy is so low, so mixed, it's so diluted, it's so latent, so stagnant that right now, today, I declare it doesn't exist. Why? Because I have that choice. It's not even a choice. I become the observer of the observer effect. I've become the observer. That's what a shaman is. A shaman is defined as the observer of the observer effect. What do you mean? What I mean exactly is you're the Trinity on a nirvana plane, you might call heaven, where everything is energy and everything you want to imagine is real because it's all happening inside of you. That person has always existed, whether what you call yourself. It's one entity. It's one person. It's her son. It's one per son, right? That person chooses whether or not to participate in physical reality. This is before 1948 and the end of physical reality, right? No one was forced to do anything. Because why? You're God over you, not nature. Nature's not God over you. Nature's not God over you. Nature's not God over you. Energy's not God over you, right? You're not the energy of God. God is the energy of you, dummy. There's no best friend without the observer declaring it. Dog is not man's best friend until it really happened. Before he was a mean bitch, it would kill your kids and bite you and give you diseases. Same with cats. And that's in a hat. Do you follow us? We've been saying this a long, long time. The true self, let's right here, since none of us are Christians, we'll stop talking Christian. We'll call it nirvana. That sounds more close to it to me. Peace, whatever you want to call it. There's a level where all the true selves exist, where there is no risk of anything ever going wrong. That's what I'm told. That's what I'm shown by my true self, by Maria, It's very possible for you tonight to visit that place. It's not that far away, right? It's a click away. There, as far as I know, there's no magic formula. The magic formula is what we're telling you. It's so simple. Clear your area. Use your essence power to drive away everything and everyone. Get your mushrooms. Get your space. Take your mushrooms. Dance and create energy. Create energy. And when you can't dance no more, or you feel led, lay down and meditate. Use your crystals. Put a crystal on your third eye. Put them on your chakras. Lay on your back. Do whatever you want. You can sit up. But the key is to relax enough for the mushrooms, which are from another world, from another dimension, to touch you and bring you some of that other dimension. It's just that simple. And from there, it's up to you. Know yourself. And the first thing Maria would say is, stop pretending and acting like you're not a sexual being. You are. You always have been. Like she said, I was 12, 13, 14 years old too. I would have sucked my cousin's dick. I would have did anything I could have. And, I was a horny kid, and I've come to free everyone's unconscious, suppressed energy that is, like she said, bad. No, it actually should be celebrated. There's a period in your time where you were so sexually fascinated and new to it that, like Maria said, it's the only truly unconscious, pure time you've ever had in the holographic world, where you can be the observer of yourself and your true sexuality. I was telling someone earlier, when I was a kid, my cousin was like 2 or 3 years younger than me. And everyone in our my mom's side of the family is very Italian. But her dad was very blonde, whatever, kind of red, blonde. And, she looked so different than everyone else in our family. She had, like, long, straight blonde hair and, like, freckles. And as, like a 10-year-old kid, I thought that was so beautiful. I literally, was like, those really are beauty marks. Like, I didn't even understand, no one does, of like, what is happening to your mind, because all of a sudden, girls were beautiful to me. And like my friend said, he's my friend's younger brother, but he's like 40-something right now. And he said, I swear we were the first generation of like internet porn generation. And he said, I had absolutely no, he said, this is how completely innocent I was. He's like, I was in 5th grade, and I typed into like Google, 5th grade girls without their clothes on, or something. He was like, I was so incredibly pure that I didn't even really think about looking at fully matured women. That I was like this. I was wanting to see a girl at my age. He said, could you imagine what was going on in, fucking internet cybersecurity? But that's exactly it. Like he said, I really didn't know how the world, I was completely this, and there's a time like that for every person. And check this out. Why am I saying this? Because the observer validates. The observer validates. You hear me? And when that energy is hitting you, what is happening? The true self is entering the matrix body, because the true self is agreeing. This is close enough to physical reality that I'll play the game. That's when you become a man or a woman, is when your true self enters the body. And check this out. More than likely, the person who observes you falls in love with you. And the same for you. And you might be 11, 12, 13, 14 years old. And you can't believe it. You don't understand it. But you, like my cousin, if secretly I thought she was the most beautiful woman in the world, and she was like 11. But in my world, she was so beautiful, like a perfect girl. Her voice. And people like, see, you're fucked up. No, you're fucked up. You're fucked up. You do not value the truth. And your excuse is, well, I put love before truth. I put my values before my truth. When I was 12, I didn't want to kiss my cousin. That's because you've always been that boring. 12 million years from now, you're this boring. 12 million years from now, you're like, you know what the greatest thing is? The Cardinals are playing tonight and we can eat. You know, that's what it's all about. Being in the audience. We're the audience, the eating audience. Eat, watch, eat. And you're like, and they're like, and fuck those pagans that fuck for pleasure. I mean, what is God? God is so pissed. I mean, God, they're spilling their semen and wasting it. They should be procreating. We need more white children. Yeah, what, to kill themselves? And why are they killing themselves? Because you care so little that you literally put the worst burden on them. You know, to have allergies your whole life is basically to fucking go in your brain and hit you with a fucking ice pick in the brain. You're fucked for life. You're fucked for life. And they're like, the only thing is, you know, this shit that stops this and that. And you're like, yeah, I don't feel like myself. So what are you? You're fucked for life. Like Maria said, there's one chronic disease, autoimmune disease, right? I mean, let's break it down simpler. There's one disease. They taught your body to kill yourself. They taught your body to create disease inside of itself. You think that's a fucking coincidence? Like everything else? Everything's just a coincidence, you know? That's because magic, uncelebrated, ceases to be magic. Some people, the most magical things that have ever happened, synchronicities or whatever, 1,000,000 years from now, they won't remember. They will say, I don't even believe that really happened. And like Maria said, how do we know this? We know this because we can remember. Everything has already happened. That's where the archetypes are echoing from. The archetypes are echoing from the entire total data of eternity, right? It's echoing through time and space. Outside of time and space, inside of time and space, it's echoing that these archetypes are real. The predator, the prey, you know, good and evil. And people are like, I don't believe in that. I know, that's how evil you are. That's your excuse to harm other people. Let me tell you, you know, when I was 12 years old and I kissed, or she kissed me, my 11-year-old cousin, you're going to compare that to taking someone's child from them and causing the most insane misery anyone could ever feel? Just murder, kill, bomb, destroy. You know what I mean? In blind, non-emotional indifference. Fuck. It's like we are the autoimmune disease in the body of the beast. Yeah, the body of that McDonald's eating beast. That GMO good old boy beast. 666, nigga. You know what I mean? Really, we're outside of it all. I mean, everything's an illusion. So really, what is it going to come back down to when you go home? It really is going to come down to why were you acting that way? You know? And it's a very real thing. I'm not trying to, I'm just laying out reality of the moment you die and realize, oh my God, that was not real. That was, like Maria said, a lot of people who do not have AMORs or eternal true love back home, when they come to the Matrix, they've already pre-planned before they got here. They looked up the people who they could possibly have contact with and literally found someone. She said, this is what we call the true love. And she said, believe me, Joe, we don't like this. Because eternal true love and true love, like she said, listen, there are parallels going on, right? True self, the avatar, the astral. 3 yous in one. Three categories of faith. Love, faith in each other. Love, caring. That would be true love. Sexual friendship that's not eternal. Sorry, I mean to laugh, but Maria said, I felt the drop in your stomach. And I did. Anytime I say it, when I say, yeah, true love exists, but it's not eternal, my stomach drops. Like a fear shoots through my body. And like I said earlier, I met one of the initiate girls outside of her body, and she said, I already know what I'm going to be shown, that my husband isn't my eternal true love. And I almost felt like, I'm just a mirror. You're just looking in a mirror. I mean, I didn't say that. I didn't think that. And this is when she was being initiated, I believe this was in like 2015. It was when Maria was teaching me this. This she's always been saying, but she knows it takes a while for shit to sink in. And, bit by bit, she's explaining more and more. And we talked about we could do a podcast and I'll just give the information you're giving me. She said, yeah, that'd be great, but I'd rather you wait, and I'll tell you when to start recording. I'll tell you when to put it out. She said, because I think it's much better for you to understand what is actually happening to you before you give the information, so that the information will have a real life story connected. I was like, no, I get it. So there's love, true love, and eternal true love. And that, of course, incorporates the first two to another level. And like she said, we actually gather together on Venus as a people, the AMORites. She said, I'm telling you right now, Donna, the Queen of Atlantis, was the queen, you might say mother, of the AMORites. And I was like, preach it, mother, tell us about the real Jesus. She's like, yeah, the real Jesus taught what I'm teaching you tonight, because the real Jesus is Donna and me. Me and Donna are his wives. And Donna is my wife. And I'm Donna's wife. And I was like, dude, life, wife, life. And she's like, you're catching on, son. Matrix Robot Joe, you are catching on. Catching on to what? That the actual language is magic. Yes. Conquering lion. And I just want to give a big recognition, respect to the one and only King of all kings, conquering lion of the tribe of I am Ra within. The original Sumerian, yes, summer, air, Ian. Some Aryans, right? To Big Lou, to the King of all kings, conquering lion, from the tribe of Lulu. Behold, behold, and real love, respect to him. I mean, how, like Maria said, well, Joe, the reality is what you're doing is for another time and place. And it's, I want to say, one day, of course, the whole world is going to know Lucifer. The author of the myth, the author of Shiva, the author of El Yahweh, right? I mean, really the burning bush is, I told your ancestors my name was El Shaddai, but I was fucking with them. My name really is Yahweh. It's like, man, that makes me want to throw up. This is what people call God. That's what they translate as the word God. El Shaddai, Darth Vader, changes his name to Anakin Skywalker. Conquering lion of the tribe of Judah. And I want to thank Maria and Donna so much. And then we'll go on. But what I'm saying and how it relates to Lou, believe it or not, I just want to connect these big ideas right now. There is what people call God. There's a reality too. It is the essence vibration of Lucifer. And it's symbolized in the matrix sun in the sky. And when the sun goes through the zodiac, it produces a story in your subconscious because you were taught this as a child millions of years ago on Venus. And this is why Maria, is the goddess of the black sun. This is how she defined the black sun. The sun going through the sky is eternal. So is your essence and my essence. And literally, some people's essences to other people are more powerful. Just point, base reality, foundational reality, It's called preference. And it, of course, is the most direct reflection of the true self or the fake avatar. All kinds of mirrors are reflecting. That's the whole point of knowing yourself. To know how sophisticated, complex am I? What can I really do? Really, all I can do is really just sacrifice myself for sports and bullshit. That's what my purpose is in my life, is to give it to someone else for them to throw down the drain. And people are like, but that's honorable, isn't it? That's disgraceful. It's absolutely disgraceful because it's the worst example you could ever set for your children, is to put yourself second. It doesn't mean other people can't be first with you. That would be being one with them. But Maria says you were born into the Jesus sacrificed himself to himself for God's wrath to himself, for himself. And you might not think Christianity was forced on you, but it didn't need. They didn't have to force it on you. You were born into it. Right? No one had to force it on you. Vibrationally, you were born into the frequency theme of Christianity. And what is it, the heart of Christianity? The true self is a psycho that will murder and sacrifice the avatar for complete strangers who don't give a fuck and don't value it, don't respect you, and don't recognize you. And if you tried to be magic before them, they would say you're showing off and they would hate you. If you dare be more powerful than the masses, they secretly hate you. They might not hate you to your face, but they secretly hate you. Like she said, women are more hateful than any, as a species, as a category, than animals or men or anything living. I said, I get it, because you're more loving. She said you couldn't hurt a mother. She said, Joe, I never had a child first time I earthed the real earth. Didn't have a child till I switched bodies with Donna. And she said, but I always knew this. I felt this way about Sig. Sig felt this way about me. A mother's love that if you take it from me, you take something no other individual being can carry. No man can carry what I carry. Because I carried that child. No matter who he is or who she is, it was that time frame where it was proved to me that I'm a woman eternally forever because of my capacity to love and hate were surpassing any man that ever lived in history. And she's like, that's nature, Joe, actually. I was like, I know. You're right. Absolutely. I said, that's why you're the mother of magic. That's why life is magic. Not a competition. It's not somewhere to take your anger out. It's not a avenue to take your anger out. It's not a place where, and check this out, what she said to me. She said, now that you're in the Matrix and you can hear me, now you can understand the polarity in the video game that you call reality. Holographic Earth 2025, October 6. She said the polarity has changed. And I'm not saying false illusion, the real polarity, the story behind the polarity. Because at the time she was giving me breathing exercises of breathing in one word and breathing out another as opposites to like retrain my polarity, my set of opposites. This is very important for balance. If you think balance is happiness, then if the polarities, if the poles aren't balanced, you're going to fall every fucking time. You understand? If you're believing in fake, false polarity, false opposites, like God and Satan, or believer atheist, or even, I don't even want to say it, but she pointed out to me in this time right now, Joseph, I talked about the mother love and how much it surpasses the man, and how my hatred for anyone that would harm that baby, especially in that time frame where she or he was out of the womb, but we were still one. And I was creating its food within me, and 10 times a day we were becoming one. She said, what a miracle that happens every day, unrecognized, no one cares. Because we live in a world that sells everything, sells sex, sells the mother on working, 6 weeks after having a baby. Sells the mother on putting their child in school when they're 5 years old, when their imagination hasn't finished developing as a child till they're 7. No, like Maria said, if you knew anything psychically, first of all, you would not circumcise your child. Secondly, you would never, ever, 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 you hear me? Turn over your child to be taught in any way, shape, or form before the age of 7. School should start at 7, outside of the home, if it's going to start at all outside of the home. Like she said, it would be best to have, if you had the money, and I know people don't, but in real truth, like she said, you really only need the teacher, really only needs to teach like an hour a day. But what we should be doing is trying to teach our kids are supplementing with like a tutor, basically. Why? Because do you want a worker be a taxpayer, or do you want an artist? You want a fucking animal that runs around after a ball, beating people up. You know, let me say something. It's never right to take your anger out on anyone else except who's responsible for it. Right? It's one thing to like punch a bag. It's another thing to run around a field and say, I'm taking my anger out on knocking the fuck out of a stranger. That's not right. And it shows a baseline, foundational principle unbelief. The principle that do no harm. Do not put anything bad in your body. And slamming someone as hard as you can in the chest or in the back or in the legs is not good for their body and not good for yours. It's a very simple principle. No force, that's force. You're like, but we're agreeing that's the fraud. That it's not on principle wrong. It's on principle wrong. Like Maria said, we can, understand individual sports that don't include, beating the fuck out of someone else. But we'll never, like Maria said, who would agree? It's one thing, people are free to do it. I mean, free, do it to your heart's desire. Run after a ball till you're fucking dead. But on principle, do I think that it's good for the world that guys go out on a field and beat the fuck out of each other and people scream and yell and cheer and cry? Like she said, nigga please. Nigger please. And I had a friend who was a all-pro Rams Super Bowl champion. He was in one of my classes. He sat next to me. Ray, his name was Ray, like Ray of Sun. And over and over in class, he was a pretty shy dude, but over and over in class, he really wanted everyone to know that he hated football and he only did it for a job. That he was always a spiritual person and thought that it was wrong to be out there like slaves fighting each other for some rich white people. But on and on, America, right till the very dying day. And then Yahweh, dressed as Marilyn Manson, with blood dripping out of his mouth and, vampire fangs, says to you, you're a dumb fuck. There's no Jesus died for your sins. I'll never forget when that spirit, person, essence, whatever, was in the girl, quote, possessed in the Rastafarian church. I said something about I rebuke you in the blood, by the blood of Jesus. And she laughed and went, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. She's like, you really believe in magic words? You know what I mean? Like this isn't a test of real essence to essence power, that it's just some loophole. The spirit was reflecting back to me. This is how stupid America is. Think everything is just little loopholes, They hate us because we're free. Look, see, we're good because we're free. We're the most spied on, incarcerated, locked up peoples ever in the history of the world. Right? Everything's an illusion. It's just disgusting. I'm sick of saying it. It's going to end very soon. And watch, they're going to round up people like they're doing ICE right now. This is 10/6, 2025. They're rounding up everyone that they told to come here. They helped to come here. They used our money. They used our money to help these people get here. And if you buy Trump and his fucking dick-sucking JD, Jack Daniels, fucking dork-ass dick suckers, lies. Oh, the radical left, the woke, the left, the woke, the left, the woke, the left. Radical left, radical left, radical left, radical left. The Democrats, the Democrats, the Democrats. If you buy that, you're fucking retarded. You know what I mean? Like a person that actually was deprived of oxygen in their mother's womb and is brain damaged, you're a fully functioning person, and you are willingly volunteering for brain damage and, metaphoric brain damage. And like you scratch under the surface and you're like, dude, what is it for you? It's like, man, I couldn't help it. I really wanted this truck. And I wanted a boat too, man. I mean, I always as a kid wanted a boat, and it makes me want to throw up. I'm like, oh my God, this is where people really live to the end of their lives, looking outside at their SUV, doing their lawn work, looking at the house and going, man, it's a pretty nice house. I did pretty good for myself. You're the worst. I mean, like Maria said, you're disgusting. You're straight up gross in this world right now. And they get sick and the doctor helps them and they're so thankful and life goes on and, they die and on their deathbed they're saying, I had a great life, I was blessed with a great job and a great lawn and a great truck that could pull the boat so I could just fish, because that's all I wanted to ever do is just torture animals and throw them back in the water. And I'm like, I don't buy it. You can have it. And they're like, yeah, you play music, you must be gay. Like, all right, whatever you aren't. This is a lot of people. This is the masses. The masses react as reactionaries. They're like, hey, whatever you aren't, I'll be. Why? What's wrong with family, God, and country and fishing? You're boring as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C, D, E. We know what you're going to say. Suck a dick. We know how you're going to live. Suck a dick. We know how you're going to die. We know how thankful you're going to be. And it's all proof that you don't even come close. You're not in your own analogy. You're not on the field playing. You're not even in the stadium. You're outside in a parking lot sleeping in your car, dreaming that you were in the game making the tackle. That's how far away from the truth is. And the real truth is that the people who have hijacked your mind, and you thank them for it, they literally made sure that you got to see that at one point in Gaza, they dropped a 2,000-pound bomb on a hospital, and a dude across the street just happened to see that there was makeshift tents of people who were injured already in bombings and shit. So there's a dude, I'm watching this, 3 or 4 hours after it happened. I just want to take you there. I'm watching this 3 or 4 hours. This is probably 6 months into Israel's genocide of the Palestinians. And October 7th, I know. How dare they fight back? I know. They should have just submitted and let you rape and kill everyone. Right? And I had already seen the little girl, and it's like my mind blocks her name because I get too upset when I think about her. But the girl who was on the phone and sorry. She was on the phone calling like 911 saying everyone in the car is dead. My mom, my dad, my aunt, and my cousin. She literally, they have this is all, you can look this up. She says we were pulling up to a checkpoint and they shot and killed everyone. And I'm the only one left alive and I'm scared. And, of course they killed her. Like that had already happened. And this is like a couple months later. And look, they're making this happen. They want to drive the false polarities. If you don't really hate the, J-E whatever, if you don't really, really, truly hate them in your heart, they haven't succeeded. They know scientifically how to make you hate Israel. It's all fake. It's all to end the world. Like I said, they chose the Muslims because they're the nicest people that Crowley ever met, which really sucks. So I get home from work and I see this clip of they dropped a bomb on a hospital and it caught these tents on fire. And me and Maria were talking in the ritual later that week. This is, while you're having fun, watching sports, this dude was like, yeah, I lived through, they bombed my apartment building, probably killed most of his family. He's like, I lived, maybe I'll live to tell the story. He's on a bed when he's burning to death. He's holding up the IV in his arm. It really just, it almost just comes down to man, dude, you're telling me nobody's responsible for this? Fuck you, first of all. And you're telling me, all right, and then you're going to try to tell me it doesn't really have anything to do with their religion. Fuck you. When their religion says go into that place and kill every single person, including the baby suckling at the mother's breast. This is in their fucking book. You show me in my book where it says that, nigger. Because you're the fucking N-word. You're the inauthentic justifier of evil. Not Odin. Not Thor. And people might be like, well, what, those Greek myths, they get crazy. Dude, no one's taking the Greek myths literally and burning people in Gaza. Or all over the world. Like, I don't want to just single, pinpoint and focus everything to Gaza. They're doing this around the world to people. They're teaching it. Like Maria, she's saying, I declare to you, their goal is chaos. She said, because why, Joseph? And I said, because chaos creates natural energy. And she said, what does a black magician do? I said, he channels and focuses, concentrates, and directs that energy. It's harnessed. It is no bullshit. One day I hope Mindy will come on here. But many times, and it was, I think, I guess maybe it was her initiation, or maybe it was just another ritual that we did with her. But like she said, at least me and her, I was like Maria said, we made it rain. I mean, literally, when we started the ritual, it started thundering, and it hadn't rained for like a month in the middle of summer. And like the more we danced, the more we created energy, because we are the universe. The more the lightning flashed, and finally it just poured down rain. And as we slowed our dancing, the rain slowed. And as we stopped, it stopped. And Mindy said to me, I don't know how that happened, exactly how, but I know who. We did that. I said, Maria said the same thing. I said, Maria said, we did that. And Mindy was like, it's like the Indian rain dance. It's like we were tapping into that on the realest level. And I thought about how I was telling her, dude, right here in this room, I switched bodies with an Indian that hangs out. When she was the Missouri River goddess still to me. When we initiated Mindy's magic sister, Mindy, we knew nothing of Maria Orsic or her Vril order or anything about a UFO. She was not on the radar screen whatsoever. I had never heard of her. And that was 2011. I had never heard of her, but she was in my room initiating this Vietnamese woman. The most beautiful Vietnamese woman ever. The Vietnamese Scorpio goddess herself. And what am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is, let's get back to obviously, it's almost like I want to avoid it, but one more time. They dropped the 2,000 or bigger bombs, several, on a hospital, and made sure, I think they made sure, I think it was like a snuff film. They made sure they had someone across the street to film a man burning alive. And Maria said to me, boy, I want you to speak the fucking truth. This is what the Christians did to our ancestors. And she said, believe me, every Christian, Mary, is the polar opposite fraud. And that's what I show the people I appeared to as Mary. I show them in my own way, and I tell them, don't tell anyone. I tell them, Mother of God, are you kidding? There's no God. I am the daughter of the Mother Goddess. And this is a matriarchal world. No male God is dying for your female ass. Stand up and be counted. Live and let live. You must stand alone before the true self, before yourself. The only way to not stand alone is to be one with others. I was like, damn. So you told them, virgin no more. She's like, exactly. She said, how well do you think each person was rewarded when they got to Frill, inner earth, Zion, where Lucifer and Donna, where Hela, and Jason rule? Jah's son, son of JahMe. Right? She said, do you know how much these people are rewarded, Joseph? I said, no, I have no idea. I said, what are you talking about? She said, like those children at Fatima, Faith and Ma. I was like, Faith and Ma, oh. And she's like, you know the Ma I'm talking about, don't you? I said, yeah, magic. And she's like, I'm talking about Shiva's Parvati, Shakti. I was like, right. I wanted to quote Sig. So, what'd you do? You taught them how to finger themselves so that they didn't need a man? She's like, yeah, basically. Some people might think that's a joke, but that's because, most likely, you are the woman behind the manipulated man, which are very typical, ordinary archetypes. And believe me, I've spoke this to every woman around me. You're born into it, you don't think so, but you're it. So it's crazy. I guess you're never getting out of here. I've told people straight to your face, fuck, I guess you're never getting out of here because you're too well adapted to the Matrix. You love it here. You're doing great. You don't need magic. What would you need magic for? You have the lawn, the house, the truck, the boat. And man, people like, dude, you really making fun of people that fish? As the center spiritual practice of your life, yes, I am. I'm making fun of good old boy American Christianity. It's like the Hank Williams, like, I can run a trout line at a dun dun dun. Yeah, but check this out. You don't fucking know yourself, and you're boring. I'm sick of fucking trout lines and your own whiskey. You're a fucking dumb fucking country fucking idiot is what you are. Do you want some football? I'll fucking get drunk and fucking knock each other's heads off because of fucking touchdown. I mean, everything's touch too. I don't even want to start on it. But yeah, I think that's low vibration spirituality. It's like, I'm a Republican, I like guns and fishing. Dude, more freedom to you. Believe me, they love your 47% tax that they're collecting from you. But don't fucking try to tell me that you're spiritual and you're going to heaven, and I'm a fucking demon, pagan demon that just wants to jack off. Yeah, the only difference between me and you is somehow you feel guilty about it and get forgiveness from your perverted God that was in a garden with a 12 or 13-year-old boy naked. Why would he be naked? And every cunt in the world's got a reason why Jesus is praying naked with a boy at 4 o'clock in the morning. And let me tell you, if you're praying naked, when my son was young, and I was like, where is he? He's in the park at 4 o'clock in the morning with the rest of the, crackheads that stay up all night. He's praying with a guru naked. And the police are going out there to arrest him. Yeah, I wonder why, nigga. And fuck you, fuck you and your fucking Bible. You're just cunts. They're like, hey, dude, no, still, we got to be a little cuntish, right? We can do all this shit, but we got to say that it's bad. We can bet, we can party, we can go to Las Vegas, we can do all that, but we just go to church and repent. Like, repent? What do you mean? Well, we just say it's all bad, and we say, yeah, we have a nature that wants to do this, and that nature's not good. You're like, but is it you or not? Well, who cares? It's insurance, you might as well believe in something. What if it is true? Oh, so you trick God? Yeah, okay, God's not going to know that you just bet whether Jesus was real or not, and that it works or not. You think God is you're gonna trick God, and he's gonna be like, oh, well, you always believed. You think he's not gonna believe up, but you said that you're just believing in case it's real. That you didn't really just believe it just to believe it. And Yahweh on the throne, Lucifer, painted up like Marilyn Manson, Glenn Danzig, will say to you, you stupid fucking retard. I created you. You think you can deceive me and play you think I'm Las Vegas? Oh, you put chips on Jesus is real. And now you think I'm going to honor that? That's the absolute proof that you weren't a true believer. Now get back down to earth. Try again. Be a real believer. Jesus died for you, nigga. What are you doing? Living for yourself. Jacking off all the time. You're not supposed to feel good. You're not supposed to have fun. Especially free fun. That's free. You need to go out, get a job, and pay to have fun. Like a boat. Expensive shit is what makes the economy work. Not jacking off. They're like, if you're going to look at that, porn, at least become a paid subscriber. I mean, these sites and this whole thing isn't free. The storage for this memory, we got processors running everywhere. We got to pay for these whores. These whores have to be paid. You think it's not real? You think there's not black magicians over these internet porn companies that are like, hey, on a meta level, everyone that's just dispersing their energy into nowhere, let me harness that. Be like, you're crazy. You're fucking crazy because you believe that everything's nothing except Jesus died for us. Source loves us. Why won't Source help anyone? Why? If Source is so great, why is it such a prick? Oh, well, it's not personal. Then what the fuck is even the use of talking about it? Talk about electricity like it's some fucking miracle that's going to personally help us. It's not. Like, but we could have free energy. That's not God. That's not all-knowing, all-powerful, ever-present, all-loving, blah, 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 blah. Either it is or it isn't. You're telling me that impersonal energy that just makes shit be alive is what? Chosen you? Loves you but hates me? Loves you but hates the fucking child down the street with cancer? I'm so sick of it, man. I'm just, fuck you forever. And the reason I say fuck you forever is because I'm the one that's not given a chance. You know, it's, you know, you don't believe in God. Well, we can't listen to anything you say. Well, what is God? God is the creator. Not of me, nigga. Of you? Yeah. Well, okay. Go on. Go on your merry way. Yeah. Yeah. In a sort of polarity to that mundane ordinariness. Right? We're going to offset what you're born into here. And before we leave here, we're going to stress one more time. Here, America works with the hidden intellectual woman who is the source and creator of the manipulated man. And I heard Maria say it again. America is the land of the hidden intellectually powerful woman hidden behind every single manipulated man. Maria said, this is what you call family. And we are trying to take you beyond that. And then, hopefully, try to remember some of my own times beyond. Have you ever been like, holy fuck, where are we? I am out of my body. I'm not thinking. It's beyond thought. And then Maria, for real, took me several times beyond that. I want to tell just real quickly of a crazy time. I had a dude when I was a Christian, and Maria likes to offset this shit because this is Lou's world. He can use Christians supernaturally, totally supernaturally. He can't make their fake story real, of course. But no shit, this happened to me. I talked about it before. I guess it was about 3 months after I became a Christian, and I went to this like prophetic conference, and these two very odd looking dudes, they look straight up like Laurel and Hardy, like a short fat dude and a tall skinny dude. They totally looked like they were from back from the future or something. Like they were just from a different time. The way they were dressed, you could tell they were poor, regular people. The one fat dude had a cowboy hat, a giant cowboy hat, and a giant belt buckle. He was cowboy. But from a different time. He was a wild. This is one of the wildest dudes I've ever met in my entire life. Wildly original. This dude. This individual dude. I'm not saying everybody wears a fucking cowboy hat. It's cool. No. I just got done saying you're pretty much a fucking dork if you... I'm not even going to say it. Because everyone has a right to say you're a fucking dork. I am. To you, I am. I'm sure. I love it that, variety is the spice of life, Polarity is the spice of life. Opposites and the whole range is the whole thing. Like, I can't be you. I can't have fun fishing. I like animals. I don't like hooks through fucking fish's mouths. I just don't like it. It's one thing if you were hungry and needed to eat. I would be out fishing. I lived in Florida. I was pretty fucking poor. I actually would fish off the pier where I knew it was clean and safe and shit to eat. for one thing, because it was so healthy. But for another thing, fish was very expensive even down there. Right? And this dude with the with the cowboy hat and the bellboy, right after I had a absolute supernatural, it was like, now that I understand, it was like the black magic and then the white magic. Because I just got through with a lady coming to me and telling me basically a very like ridiculous riddle that basically like the Holy Spirit don't need to get high, so Christians don't need plants. I'm like, okay, shut the fuck up. But at the time I was so traumatized that it affected me because it was so supernatural. Timing is everything, right? Until you learn about eternal true love, then you have a grace for your AMOR that goes beyond timing. You could be the worst timing in the world and you're like, I still love you no matter what. That's eternal true love. True love is something that may not change until you're dead. You may flow along in a perfectly economic agreement until you die. And then, like Maria said, that's what keeps people coming back here in a repetitive cycle. Then it's shown to you nothing. Yeah, everything was real with you having a house, paying your bills, having a car, having a nice lawn. But nothing is right with the true self, the astral, and the avatar. And the person's literally like, nothing's right with what? The higher self, the projected self, and the holographic self. Huh? God, family, country. Okay, get back in there, nigga, and give it another go. See what Jesus can do this time. Get out there. See what Mary can do for you this time. You understand? There's a fake and a real. That's a real. That's a real polarity. To think that this Mary that was appearing to people was actually the Mary from the fictional story of the New Testament is so fucking stupid. It's mind-boggling. But it's real. I was that stupid at one point. You know what I mean? Not understanding the gods come in all kinds of disguises like regular people, that they're not just, hey, here I am, the mother of God. And I'm just saying to you one more time, be boring, don't finger yourself, go to church. Take the sacraments, the cracker and the wine. That's as high as you're ever going to get, nigga. Living guilt. You're a fucking sinner. Now get back to worshiping my son. If you think that's who Maria Orsic is, you're fucking retarded. This is a polarity caricature opposite. That she's exactly opposite. She said, she just said to me, she said, say this. I do not give a fuck who's committing adultery. Fuck away. Bend her over and give it to her. Or suck his fucking cock off. You're not going to get stoned around here. Even if you are the cheater. Like Maria said. What do we say, Joe? It's none of our business. I wouldn't even want to know about that. Live and let live. Right? So on Venus, where we have been the same person for a long time. Say you've been, I've been kind of comfortable in my personality for, 10 or 15 or 20 years. Is no bullshit. On Venus, we go somewhere. We might have a cup of coffee and we say, how long have you been? When did you come on Venus? When did you arrive in your Venusian body? Oh, about 17,000 years ago. Like, wow. What about you? Believe it or not, it's been over 100,000 years. Now, even if you can't believe that, just for a second, suspend your disbelief and just come with me for a second. You've been alive for 30, 40 years. Like I said, maybe you've really felt like you knew who you were for the last 10 or 20. Can you imagine telling someone, I've always been myself, but I've really, pretty much, from astral travel and the mushrooms and Maria Orsic and everything I've been taught, I've been feeling, very much like I know who I am for like the last 53,000 years. And it's wild. I know. I've known hundreds of thousands of people, as close friends. And what she says is so true. There's 3 types of love. There's eternal true love. It's outside of time. So outside of time that you might not recognize the person in time. But eventually you will. And there's true love. These friendships that seem like they will never die, but slowly do. They're true. Truly fading till they don't exist until the next cycle, till the next round. And then there's the caring, motherly sort of imprint for everyone. That's, for every child. For every even person who is the masses, who is swayed by good and evil. That's the difference, The evil are smart and know how to be evil. The masses do not know how to be evil and think they're good. And the good do not know how to be evil and only know how to be good automatically. And I'm not saying perfect or every action. I'm saying by principle. And of course, like Maria said, no one gets 10 out of 10. You're lucky if it's 9. But the numbers play out that it's usually 5. And that's reality. That, people with good intentions aren't perfect. It's all in your astrology. Like Maria's like, Joe, because I struggle with, I don't even know. I don't know how to describe it. But I struggle at times. And Maria, one of the greatest healings for this is to say, everything is a cycle. This feeling will go away. Right? But she's also points out to me, this is in your astrology. So take comfort, Joe, that you feel like you do, because that's who you are. You can't help it. And I'm like, I know it. It's so true. Like, like what we're saying to the listener right now, like there's some like vibrations. They're uncomfortable. I mean, it's like a sensitivity that you're embarrassed of. You would never even want to admit to, Like I've said over and over, like, I'm not trying to pretend. Like, on like an emotional level, I am a fucking pussy. Like, on another level, I think, pretty tough. But on a automatic level, it's like she said, that's why me and Maria are so close and take comfort in each other, because there's very few people that can relate to this, Like Maria said, it's almost like, or it is like, that constantly our job is to like walk in the future. So it's like I am feeling the future in the present. And of course it doesn't correspond to the present reality. And a lot of times this is a magic word too, so the feeling, I would never notice it if it was just bliss, but the feeling is like a bad suffering feeling. What's crazy is it's like a premonition of what has already happened, because it's the logical conclusion of what's been agreed upon on these other levels. Can you follow that? On these other levels, because you're a true self, an essence, a spirit, whatever you want to call it, you're working on other levels while you're awake and you're sleeping. And sometimes, like she said, the true, what we would call psychic ability is that it automatically bleeds through to the waking self, as Maria always called it, the waking self. She's like, it'd be better for you to call it the waking self than the avatar, but it's become a common language for me to say the avatar, which is a great, analogy of like a true self, controlling the virtual person at home, at the desk, in the bed, holding the phone. Yeah, there's a very mystical, different perspective, worldview, right? Just to try to balance things with everything we've been saying with how does this compute? Lucifer is the god, in the sense ruler, measurer, of this world. And you say that the inner earth is where you go when you die. That's another invisible frequency field that is always existing, but it has locations, and literally there is a way there. But it's not home. It's not Venus. It's another, like she said, there's no other way to say it, Joe. It's like a world within this world. It's a illusionary world inside of an illusionary world. And you say how you declare war on Yahweh and tear Christianity to shreds. Of course we would, it's evil. How does this reconcile with Rasta? How does Lucifer, how is he Jah of reggae? Well, you're missing the climax and essential part of the movie. You walked out of the theater 20 minutes too soon. Somehow you thought it was over and you were like, what a weird ending. It just ended like that? No, it didn't just end like that. You left the movie theater while the movie went on. What am I saying? After World War II ensued mega meta world war, where nuclear knowledge was spread very fast and America led the way in just a complete chaotic mess that was more an accident than anything else, and was caused by the chaos of Maria Orsic and her people, who may not have been her people at the time, but all these people who were Lu's people, who were Shiva's people, who were Alleluia's people, disappearing, and they could not find them. They were looking in the Antarctica, the Arctic, everywhere. They could not find a trace of thousands of people that they had intelligence and everything else on. And the survivors, like Himmler, were telling insane tales, they thought, about UFOs and about little blonde women, lesbians, and magic, and beings that are 10 foot tall. And like Maria said, the people who were left, the people who were tortured, the people that told the truth, freaked out the Americans. Aleister Crowley and the British were less surprised, a lot less surprised, but the Americans were flipped. Because they knew, oh my God, this means Jesus ain't real. You know, it's like the Bugs Bunny indie music. Da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da. That's all, folks. You know what I mean? These country bumpkins in the military, they're like, oh my God, we just fought a war for nothing, and fucking we're all these fucking dead people, and Jesus ain't even real. It's literally like, 20-year-old kids right now going, oh my God, they told us the Force was real. We're out here fighting a Death Star, and it's our own black magicians that created the Death Star and everything. You know what I mean? And they're like, dude, Luke isn't the Messiah. And, oh my God, dude, no one died on the cross for me jacking off every night. I should feel guilty about that, right? I should feel guilty about that, right? No, maybe not. Maybe it's natural. People like, why you zero in on that? The same reason they zeroed in on cutting your fucking son's dick off and you let them. You know? You think you haven't been deceived, nigga? You were deceived into one of the most horrific, torturous fucking things that you could ever put a child through. A tiny baby, strapping down a tiny baby stretching his penis and cutting it with a razor. And somehow you fucking pussy ass niggers justify that. And you think there's no repercussions. You think that somewhere in your son's subconscious he's not like, fuck you, how could you, how dare you. I mean, how unnatural is that? Hey woman, hey little baby girl, let's cut your clit off. Because what is the foreskin? Well, at the end of the foreskin is a ring of nerve endings that are more sensitive than any other part of the penis. And when the foreskin is pulled down, it matches exactly with the woman. Her inner sensitivity. You know, it's like an inside out thing. I mean, when our kids come out of the wombs, no one says, hey, you know, let's strap her down and cut her earlobe off. And you're going to tell me it's for hygiene. I mean, you have an opening down there for a man, for a boy. You have an opening down there. It opens to the whole inside of your body. And you think it's more hygienic to cut off the covering and expose the opening. I mean, come on, you fucking retard. God, I hate this place. Just hate this world. I just hate it. This is so boring that we'd ever have to tell people, dude, you shouldn't strap your baby down and cut his fucking clit off. That's his clit, you stupid fucking retarded niggers. And I say that with black people to mostly white people. There's plenty of black people that probably circumcise their kids. You're that fucking stupid too. You're an N-word too. But I happen to be white, and most of the niggers I know are white. Do you hear that? Most of the N-words I know are white. Does that compute? Am I saying that right? Like, how dare you use that word? How fucking dare you tell me what words to use? Who are you? Well, for the good of everybody. I don't give a fuck about the good of everyone while you burn children to death. Well, I don't support what's going on in Palestine. Oh, but you support the government fucking persecuting your enemies. This is how stupid the left is, the left and the right. They're disgusting people. They're disgusting, unprincipled people. That's what I mean. By disgusting, I mean unprincipled, right? These are the motherfuckers that you're like, you know, it'd be a good principle. Don't put anything bad in your body. And the next day they show up like, hey, you know, I mean, dude, everyone should have a cheat day, you know, have a donut. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. You are the N-words. You know, I had a run-in last night in a ritual with, like, somebody I don't know at all, you know. And it was funny because a person's been very intimidating to me, you know. I'm going to have you locked up. I'm going to have you... This is happening on another level, though, right? Well, it was kind of a repeat of the same thing last night. And I was like, listen, just fuck you. You don't live by principles. You're going to lose. Oh, you're going to lose. No, I'm talking about you're stuck here in a goddamn simulation of reality. So suck a dick and go fucking fuck more fake shit and suck your own fucking dick or whatever you do. This is literally what I said. The bottom line is, you're not with us. Get the fuck out of here. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Okay, now it's a magic war. We'll see who wins. And I remember saying, believe it. You're going to be sorry. You will be sorry. You will be sorry. Eventually, you'll be sorry. Why? Because, you know, everything in your world is a sports event, right? But let me tell you, even if Maria loses, she will bring you down deeper into Scorpio, poison, hell than you will ever imagine. My nigga. You know what I mean? I said, you don't know who you're fucking with. Like, you think this is a personal thing. Fuck you, you stupid fucking retarded idiot. In a fucking movie. Like, you know, it's like two actors reading a script, arguing. Dude, why'd your character say this? 'Cause it's a script, you fucking retard. Oh, fuck. Oh, yeah. You know, and then 5 minutes later, it's like, dude, I really don't like you. I know you're like the character. Like, dude, I'm a fucking actor, you stupid ass idiot. You can't fucking distinguish the movie and the acting and the script from real life. And this person, he can't. He cannot. Everything is on the surface. Everything is for show. Everything is fake. Everything. Right down to God, family, country. Fake is the, aging skin over his tattoos, which are bad for you. So dumb. Like, people are like, you don't have any tattoos? Yeah, because I don't do things that are bad for me. Oh, it ain't that bad. Well, see, bad for you is bad for you, for me. It's like a weird distinguishing line of like, oh, you're that principled that you actually go by the principles. They're like, oh, no, dude, we do that for pretense. We do that for people to think we're principled. We're not. And of course, Maria's response is, thank you. We've always wondered who you really were. Some things are heartbreaking. Some people are, you really want them to be, I guess, in a way, who you want them to be. Which me and Maria would say is always, someone like us. Like, I've met some of my favorite musician artists, and I ended up kind of feeling sorry for them. Like, I respect you so much, but you genuinely are drunk all the time and seem like you're not that. Something's wrong. You're not. You don't really genuinely seem happy. You don't genuinely seem sad. And believe me, artists realize they can't go on forever. I don't like sad songs. I don't try to write sad songs. I might write a song that feels, I would say, uneasy. Like, I wrote a song called Last Night After I Got Up in the Morning. Yeah, this is how it happened. I had the music. To the song, and it felt a little darker. It had some minor chords. It had, some minor chords in it, definitely. Which, sounds a little serious. A little more serious, I would think. All right, most people agree. And I never knew, I think I've said before, I've never knew anyone addicted to heroin, personally. And this was in like 2006. I really believe this was before YouTube, and I was watching Google videos, and somehow I watched this documentary called Black Tar Heroin. Everyone should watch it, just to honor the sort of victims. I don't know. I'm telling my story about it. But then again, I guess I was a little bit Midwestern and naive. And this is when I was a Christian. But I guess I must have been off work the next day. But in the morning, yeah, I had to be. I started, my process is I would create the music for a whole song. I may sort of rearrange it later, but kind of get the idea of the song. I do the music first. And I woke up and it was like I was just hooked into the music of the song, and I was writing words, and I was like hearing the words in the instrumental song. You know what I mean? It was, to me, that's a miracle. First of all, that's a fucking miracle, straight up. And I wrote those lyrics. It says, last night it came twice, going over you, your pain and your tears, and all the things that drive your fears. And you need me, right? And I was feeling a double meaning, like the heroine, saying you need me, because I've never been addicted to drugs. It was scary to me because I was like, oh my God. It's like that feeling of needing someone's presence, like needing love. I was like, oh my God, that's scary. I was like, I wish no one was on heroin. And now look how bad it is. Now it's fentanyl. It's like saying, I wish no one had a broken heart. I remember my friend, she's a Libra, which somehow, like Maria showed me, the heart symbol is the Libra symbol, even though Leo is like the astral heart. But you see Libra, Leo, bruh. And she said to me, you remember last time I talked to you, I told you I really thought, I was going to get married and all that. And I was like, yeah? And she's like, yeah, I kind of got sick, and the dude just, after years, just basically said, I don't love you, move out. I can't, deal with this. She's like, so when I'm in the hospital, he's breaking up with me. She's like, in my whole thing, I was in the hospital for a heart problem. I'm like, that's fucking nuts. And Maria later showed me, like, yeah, you knew her. We know her. You knew her before we came here. We know her. Yeah, her name is Sherry. And Maria said, really, her name is Sharia. I was like, wow, like Sharia. What a great name. Oh my God. If I had a daughter, I'd name her Sharia. Because what is that? The real gospel, the real good is that Maria, that we should share Rhea, because she's so beautiful. So just watch her dance. Maria many times saved me in the ritual by saying, Joe, settle down and watch me dance. I'm going to dance for you. And and it's the most beautiful ballet type dancing. It becomes so smooth and like natural. I can't believe that, it's real. And she's like, there's one thing. She's like, you're the same way back here. She's like, I just basically dance every single day. There's almost no day on Venus where I don't. She's like, it's like your routine on Earth. She's like, I don't sleep, but I meditate. And I come out of my meditation and I go in what you would call your kitchen, which is like a giant dance floor for her. And a little table, a couple chairs, and a couch, all facing the dance floor. She's like, and I go over to my stereo. I put my music on, and I start dancing. She's like, how long have I been doing that, Joe? I said, fuck, I don't know. How long have I known you? She's like, thousands of years. And she's like, how long have I been doing that? Is it possible a human being like you that lives in a house like yours, it's a person like us? She's like, I'm not that far away. She's like, I was alive in 1948. 1945. I was thinking about the end of the world. Maria, if people don't know, the very last day she was on Earth was 5/5/1945. May 5th, 1945 is the day that Maria left the Earth for good and never came back, ever. And like she said, a combination of like June 9th through June 11th, the whole world died. The whole rest of the world. After 3 long years of constant nuclear war between every nation you could imagine, India, Pakistan, Russia, China, even all the European countries, France, Spain, they all had nukes. And by 1948, like from 46 and 47, they were making nukes as fast as they could and dropping them on each other. You watch. It's going to replay, because it's already replayed thousands of times, if not millions. And what is it going to replay? A psychoid world that is like the dominoes falling. And who pushed over the first domino? America. Clown-faced Trump. People will never ever live it down for 1,000,000 billion years. People say, hey, in the Matrix, you like that clown-faced idiot. That clown-faced, blood-drinking, processed church magician playing a trick on you. This fucking demon, in your own words. But again, how does this make sense? It's a simulated, penultimate peak story that exposes every last bit of what we know to be purged from Venus. Every last bad vibrating person has been forced into perpetual eternal return in the Matrix. Like, that's why it sucks so much. That's why Lou is like, Joe, you have to promise to come back here. Like Joe, I willingly put myself through this to expose the blood-drinking baby rapist. Please, if you really love me, really respect me. I was like, Lou, you have no idea. Of course I would come back here. I'd do anything for you. Anything. People are like, why would you say that? Because these are actual people for me. They're not, I don't know what the hell is real to people, you know? Like, I used to be the whistleblower, Project Camelot, researcher. This is 20 years ago, in the early 2000s, and these people from the military that have chips in their heads and shit, they're having all kinds of crazy shit happen. UFOs are picking them up. People are appearing to them, And people are like, isn't your mind blown by this? And I'm like, I don't understand what the fucking meaning was. Like people are like, this or that appeared to me and said this or that, but I'm like, I don't understand what it means. Or at least it's not clear what it means. Like Maria, what we're trying to say is very clear. You might not agree with it, but on this very complex level, we're trying to make this clear. The world you're living in is a technology that connects our imaginations. It's like a mass hallucination on another plane of existence. It's like we've all been taken out of our bodies on Venus, and we're all totally in agreement that this is real, and it makes it real. Just like if you've ever been talking to someone and have a supernatural experience where you start talking to them on another level, you might say to them on that other level, this is real. And they might say, is it? It's as real as that. Like, this is the real me talking to you. In the Matrix, we're kind of song and dance. Right? So it is the Matrix. All is an illusion because you're laying in a bed connected to this technology, which is making you interact with everyone else who's connected in the technology simply by one thing, that you're all mass hallucinating, that we're in the real world. And the reason why 3/4 of the whole world is like, yeah, I believe in a monotheistic, all-powerful, all-knowing, blah, 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 God, is this. This is very key. Is this. Why Muslim, Jew, Christian? And not because everyone's so dumb, like I keep saying. Because their intuition. Their intuition is there's one overriding, they even want to say, like, being, person. Most of them say he, because in a sense it's right. Right? What do you mean, Joseph? What it means to be a God. Listen, what it means in the future to be a God, to be one of the gods, is that you imagine, you create, you imagine your own world with other free choice individuals running around in that world, not knowing that it's an illusion. And because of their unknowingly, they are unknowingly, completely, totally exposing their unconscious. The very thing that is the key to making conscious if you're going to know yourself. Unconscious means unconscious. It means that you really don't. Subconscious means you can remember it. Unconscious means it's completely, totally, completely separated from you until you become conscious or subconscious of it. Get it? Got it? So if the key to knowing yourself is making the unconscious conscious, the God of this world who's imagining this world, Lucifer, Alleluia, Shiva, who is Diana Danu, better known is Queen Beautiful Donna, together as one with Hela, Jason, Maria Orsic, Sigrun Orsic, I call her. And as far as we know, more are one, imagining this world. That's why Maria interacts the way she does with me and others before. And you might say, as Mother Mary? Yeah, but as Mother Mary, as the disguise for who she really is. Who is she? She's the mother that can heal you because she can help you remember. She's the mother that can guide you. Where? To your true self. Can she be everyone's teacher like she is mine? No. She is a person. Can she split herself off into different beings and appear here and there and everywhere in a sort of AI program way? Yeah, she can. But can she consciously direct her energy in vril power with a kiss at two places at once? No. I'm only here now with Joseph to heal your very blood that carries the vril memory of those who suffered before you, to bring you the truth, because who it sets free was always free, as it is, so be it. And let those who just be, let them be. And let those who strive knock at the door. And may it be opened by the true self that teaches by revelation, not by academics. And for our people, my true self is saying to you, teaches never, God's forbid, that we'd ever try to do it alone. The most important thing ever. And the real teachers are the real mystery. The passion flower plant, the Syrian rue seed plant, the magic mushroom. And the biggest brained, smartest dork on earth is like, yeah, the mushroom is kind of like a animal, a human, and a plant. It's very complex and very... I know, the shaman's been saying that the whole time. And ask John Allegro, author of The Mushroom and the Cross, Sumerian, cuneiform expert. They said, have you ever tried Amanita muscaria? Oh, no, I would never do that. It makes people crazy. It's poisonous. Let me tell you, I've drank many, many, many times 20 grams of Amanita muscaria, or even more. I mean, there's people who drink 30, 40, 50 grams. And there's an Amanita that is poisonous, but it's completely a different species. It's like saying, like you're going to confuse a turkey from a chicken. It's like, nigga, I grew up on a farm. You think I don't know the difference? But that's what it is in the mushroom world. It really shouldn't even be called Amanita. They just do that to spook you. And if you ever seen Aleister Crowley's official movie, A Dark Song, I believe it's called, or The Dark Song, you should very well notice that the whole thing starts with, a lady has lost her son, was kidnapped, and murdered by a satanic cult. Isn't this ironic? And she's paying like $100,000 to the OTO or Golden on one of them to put her in contact with the dead. This is real. This is as real as you nigger ass want it. And he says, yeah, we have to rent a house. The reason why it costs so much is we have to rent a house because me and you are the only people that can be in this house for 30 days. And we have to, or maybe it might have even been 60. And He said we're going to have to do a whole bunch of rituals. We're going to have to do a whole bunch of shit. And he's like, check this out. It all starts out with this. And he pulls out a mushroom. And he goes, it starts with this. Tonight we eat this and it begins. Believe it, sisters, brothers. People like, yeah, you really push mushrooms, don't you? You tell me. People like, dude, I don't need mushrooms. I remote view. And you're like, what'd you remote view? The government's corrupt and aliens are coming to save us or destroy us. Or what's an alien? I don't know. They're like out in the illusion. Way out there in the illusion? It's not an illusion. Like, shut. It's like someone, who's on in online gaming for so long. They're like, dude, I can't believe it. But at one point, the online game became real. And like the people in the game were running around in my house and we were shooting each other and shit. You're like, dude, you've been playing too many games. Dude, you need to give it a rest. Check this out, niggas. You know how far out in space an illusion goes? All the way. All the way. There's nothing out there. Why you think nothing's come to save you yet? You're like, nigga, but I'm chosen, man. I'm special, man. The Holy Spirit speaks to me. Oh, I know you're so much more special than the kid down the street dying of blood cancer, right? You're so much more special than everyone else. You're so much special than my friend who had spinal bifida and couldn't walk her whole life. You're so fucking anointed and special, I've come here to say, fuck you. You should go to hell for being such a delusionary fucking retard that thinks so highly of yourself. God damn, give it a fucking rest. Okay, you're an original individual. No God's with you. This whole fucking make-believe, Holy Spirit, I'm special, Mary comes to me, or whatever, is fucking bullshit unless you can produce the fucking goods. Okay? Mary appeared to you. The story from the Bible is bullshit. So one thing, she's in a disguise. Her name's not Mary, it's Maria. What did she say? She said, repent and turn to Jesus. That wasn't Maria Orsic, dummy. Because you know what Jesus would say? A good mother would suck her son's fucking dick off and marry him. And she would become, she's like, we're on a whole nother level, Joe. I fuck my father, Leo, all the time. I can't wait for father to give it to, And it sounds lewd, sounds crazy. And they're like, what are you... I said to Maria, what? I get it, that none of that's real and we're just all people. I go, well, what are you getting at, though, with the language? Like, why is it... She's like, I'm provoking you to think this. I go, I know you are. She said, Joe, I'm dissolving every boundary so you can go home. What's the last boundaries? That you're more moral than someone else? You're not. You're as moral as it is, as you always were, and you will be. You can't change that. I was like, yeah, you're exactly right. She was like, is Lou literally the man who conceived, my mother? And of course not. Why does Donna say this and like to joke? Because Hella, her daughter, and Jason, her son, were killed. One was a baby, one was 9 years old. But on this other plane of existence, they are each other's eternal true love. She's like, Joe, deal with that. Or don't be here next week. I'm like, I totally get it. They actually, you might not believe this, but they actually Donna took me into what happened on the astral plane. when they all died, when the children died. And that little baby girl, of course, she's not a baby on the astral plane. She is, but she isn't. She was telling her 9-year-old brother, you were everything to me. As a little baby, looking out like I loved you. I loved to see your face. I loved to see your hair. I loved to smell you. I loved you. I love you. It was one of the most touching, craziest things I've ever experienced in my life. Like, these were real blood brother and sister. And Maria's like, yeah, you understand what we're saying? I'm like, yeah. That life is real on another plane of existence where the person you love the most is your sister. And you want to make love to her, and there's nothing wrong with that. Matter of fact, she said, it's completely natural. It's as natural as the river flowing through the land to the ocean, emptying into the inner earth, into the filters that are my hair, Lou's hair, Donna's hair, filtered through our hairs, back to the springs, back to the rivers, back to the ocean. I told you, I was under the continent. People are like, you're fucking crazy. Well, I don't care. I'm the one that's seen it and experienced it. In a way, it's made me not afraid to drown. In a practical way. How could I be afraid of drowning when I was like, Maria, how far under the water? This is the water goddess. How far under the water are we? And she was like, I don't know, a mile or two. And I said to her, Maria, how fucking big is the earth? And she said, Joe, Venus is way bigger. I go, oh my fucking God. She's like, we have oceans just as big. She's like, Joe, on Venus, there's an inner Venus, like there's an inner Earth. I was like, wow. I was like, it all makes sense, you know? Like, see, when you're alive as the same person for 10,000 years or 50,000 years, you start doing everything. You start doing anything. You're like, dude, I've been into everything. You're like, have you ever been to that Venusian inner Earth thing? Oh, yeah. I went there for fucking 5 years once. Oh, yeah, I hear you. Where'd you go? Oh, yeah, I went this place too, yeah. Yeah, I was up there meditating in a meditation. I was meditating in a meditation. This is what normal people do in Venus. Because there's no war economy. There's no business economy, really. There is business, there is money, there is all that, but it's like 1/10 of the intensity here. Because why? She said, like Maria said, like people like me and you, she's like, hey Joe, how much do you pay a month to live in your house on Venus? She was showing me my house. I don't know. You tell me. And she's like, you can't remember? I go, I can't remember. She goes, the reason I thought you might remember is you pay nothing. I'm like, ever? She's like, ever. You own the house. And you own the land that's on the house. As far as the government on Venus. You have a deed. And she said, you know how that can be? I said, no. She said, because they know exactly how many human being souls are on Earth. It's all like calculated as a sort of score in a way. And you apply, she said, as my student. She said, I hired you, gave you the money. It's basically, I bought the house for you in a sort of contract that you would work for me. you know. And I literally, like in this sort of transfer, the house was completely, totally, completely yours. Had nothing to do with me anymore, nothing to do with anybody on Venus. You own it forever. She said it's also made of material that will last for so long that it's crazy. It's like crystal. Literally, the houses are made out of like tinted crystal, but a lot of it's just see-through crystal because we have no. I mean, some of our neighbors might be, like 2 women and a man or something. They don't care if someone sees them having sex. You might walk by their house, you're like, look, they're having a foursome. It's just normal. It's healthy. You walk by, you see people doing that in their crystal house, and you're happy for them. They're like, God damn, that's so beautiful. I hope they all have great orgasms, I hope they astral travel from them. Hope they learn something, This is the attitude that you must return to. This is the recover attitude that you must return to. It's not like a perverted thing even, that you're like, oh my God, there's people having sex, let's go look at them. It's not even like that. It's like, oh, of course our neighbors are doing what we do all the time. Of course, because that's the foundation of life. What is, Joseph? Enjoying the true self. How do you do that? By jacking off, dummy. By masturbating. Oh, but I'm supposed to feel guilty. Yeah, that's the main thing they want you to repent and feeling guilty about. And they're like, but when I jack off, I kind of think about other women or men, or, You're like, so what? Yeah, but God don't like that. What God are you talking about? God. And that would be, creator of all things. Buddy, nobody created my soul. You're going to tell me you know the creator of my soul. Yeah, it's in the Bible. It's all that simple, isn't it? Okay, go back to Walmart, get your clothes, get your food, be a good consumer, get your spirituality, flash by the book aisle, pick up a Bible, flash by the flag aisle, pick up a flag, flash by the food and get all the bad food to kill your family. God, family, country. People are like, yeah, you really, aren't you proud to be an American? At least I know I'm surveilled. Proud to be an American, cannot protest against genocide. Proud to lure people to our country and throw them in a private prison for profit. Proud to experiment on people for the COVID technological virus with the technological counterpart vaccine. Yeah, you look at that word, vaccine. What do you see? What do you see, nigga? And I like people like, oh, I'm not saying every vaccine. You know what I'm saying? Stick a needle in your arm's bad. Oh, nigga, you gonna die, nigga. You ain't never gonna attack the nigga. You gonna die. Hey, maybe if I absolutely, if my life depended on it, maybe I'll prick my skin. But I believe in the principle of do no harm. Don't put anything bad in your body. The skin is metaphysical for the whole spiritual protection, and to willingly pierce it, this is the whole blooded Jesus fucking magic bullshit about cutting open, piercing the skin. He was pierced he was pierced for your transgressions, nigga. Hey, check this out. God was so pissed off, he fucking stuck a fucking knife in his nigga ass son because of your transgressions. Right? You're like, what are you talking about? In Isaiah is a prophecy about Jesus says he was pierced for your transgressions. And that was fulfilled when the soldier pierced the side of Jesus. You're like, hey, nigger, I've been fucking working my ass off. What are these transgressions? That you like sex. By yourself. This is what's so fucking retarded about the whole thing. It's literally like a marketing team going, hey, listen, the thing they like the best is an orgasm. How can we make money off it? I mean, it's free. You know, they don't even really need magazines or porno or anything. They could just think about shit. I mean, they see legs and asses in real life. The Muslims are like, hey, put a tent over you. Don't let anyone see your legs or your ass. And Muslim dudes are like, dude, that girl's eyes are getting my cock hard. And they're like, put a fucking veil over her eyes. Can't see it. And they're like, dude, through the fucking tent, I kind of seen the outline of her body. Got my dick hard. I fucking whacked off to it later. You ain't stopping it, nigga. We're gonna win, nigga. Because we're nature, nigger. Right? The eternal orgasm wins. It trumps Trump. It trumps everything. And that's not his real name. Because that's how big of a dork he is. His real name is Drumpfenfelder. It's like, oh my God, that stupid big giant obese shrimp is really part Jewish. No wonder he got into the New York real estate business so good. I hope you've tuned in this long because me and Maria are starting to get a little happy and we're starting to goof. Right? Because wise, my nigga, because we're in the world of Lou's mind. And if you just relax, you will hear this song. It's like, I rode a tank in the general's rank when the blitzkrieg raged and the bodies stank. I shouted out, who killed the Kennedys? When after all, it was you and me. Pleased to meet me. I hope you guess my nigga ass name. Aw, yeah. 'Cause puzzling you, nigga, is the nature of my game. Right? We stuck around St. Petersburg when I thought it was a time for a change. Killed the Tsar and his ministers. Anastasia screamed and her body stank. Pleased to meet you. Won't you guess my name? Well, confusing you to bring out your authenticity is my game. And if you meet me, have some courtesy, have some sympathy, have some taste. I'll lay all your well-learned polities, your politeness, I'll lay it all to waste. Pleased to meet you. I fucking hope you guess my name. Yeah, confusing you is as sure as heads as tails they call me Lucifer. As sure as heads is tails. As sure as they're both an illusion. They call me Lucifer. Nigger, they don't call me Satan. You know, like, what are you talking about? It's a movie, dummy. It's like, they say, cut. And Luke's like, hey, Obi-Wan, suck my dick, nigga. And you're like, what? What is Luke saying? He's like, fuck you, Luke. You're a pussy-ass nigga, can't down a beer. You pass out after one blunt. He's like, fuck you, old man. You can't get no pussy. And you're like, what's going on here? Jesus is vile. Jesus is Luke. Luke Hamilton is fucking wild. He's talking about sucking dicks and drinking and partying. And here comes Princess Leia. And she's like, hey, after everything's over, come to my trailer. I'll lay out a fat rail for us. I got some good blow. You're like, oh my God, the goddess does fucking coke. Right? You understand what we're saying? You're taking a fucking movie literal. To-do. And confusing you is the nature of my game. What am I trying to say? The great Alalu Shiva is a genius. He wrote that song. As sure as heads as tails, they call me Lucifer. When I'm in the need of some restraint. So if you meet me, have some courtesy, have some sympathy, have some taste. And, the last thing, I'm speaking for Maria, we're switching bodies and doing shit here. The last thing is, I want to, let people know. I don't think I'm anyone. I'm not criticizing people that's seen Mary or have visions of people in the wilderness. I'm not criticizing anyone. I'm just saying I'm not falling for everything. I have come too far to be led by people who are foundationally not the same as me. Let's just say it that way. I'm not going to be led by someone who's vibrationally not the same as me. If I don't want to fuck you, you're not going to lead me. Believe me. And they're like, what do you mean? Do you want to fuck dudes? Of course. No, I don't. And what am I saying? That I am led by the woman. What woman? Maria. In what way? Magically. What? Do I work for her and pay her bills? I mean, now you're spitting in her fucking face. Like she said, now you're pissing in my fucking face, not in my mouth with Amanita muscaria. Now you've removed yourself from our presence and you're sick. Because you're still thinking like God, country, family, American bullshit. When really, what is it? Okay? God, family, country? How about this? Goddess, pussy, goddess, pussy, 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 goddess. I'm sorry. I don't know what kind of code that was. Maria said that was the pussy goddess code. And she said, Joseph, please, you said you would say it every week. And if you don't like it, suck a pussy. All right? If you don't like the goddess, the pussy, the like she said, I don't have much tits, so you could say nipples. If you don't like the pussy and the nipples of the mother that feeds us, and she's like, yeah, after you suck the, milk out of my nipples and lick where you know to lick, that will release the rest of the liquid. And what a beautiful, lovely person she is. So free, so non-condemning, so unjudgmental. Hail to Maria, the beautiful Mother Ria, the river, the beautiful river. Hail to her. And we speak a word real quick of healing to your throat, to your sinuses, to your chest, and may these viral demons of the technological New World Order, may they be canceled by the vibration of our words carried through time and space, in the vibration of the orgasmic brill, which is the miraculous found. In search of the miraculous, people are so pissed off because, like, dude, I found it. They're like, shut up about mushrooms. They don't work for me. Every time I take mushrooms, I'm fucked up. I don't know what the fuck's going on. They don't work for me. Well, wow. Okay. I'm glad we didn't go to war together, because you'd have been like, well, I don't like it out here. It's cold. I'm going back. Yeah. Well, you know what? We can't have coffee out here, so I'm turning back. I thought we were going to have a little electric stove and coffee. I mean, really. Okay, then you tell me something that's not from this world. You tell me something that's actually, you can tell me all kinds of fucking information. Yeah, tell me something that's factually not an animal, not a human, not a plant, and can survive off planet. And I will tell you the truth, that the reason why Amanita muscaria is in the background of so many Christian pictures of Jesus, in the background you'll see a red and polka dot mushroom. Even on some of the stained glass of the oldest church ever. You know why? Because the only true salvation, the only absolute objectional truth that can set you free is the whole entire Jesus Christ myth that deceived the entire Western Hemisphere was mushroom mythology. And that mushroom is the most famous being. When you would say, who's the most famous people? One time I said, I think the most famous people in all the world are Jesus Christ and Adolf Hitler. And someone showed up to my house. People talk about, well, you're meditating under mushrooms. I was awoken by this person with my eyes open. He was actually there. And he said to me, do you know who I am? I'm you. I said, what? And he said, I'm the mushroom. I'm the most famous being that's ever existed. He was like, hey, your fucking people might be obsessed with TikTok. But outside of the TikTok world, I'm the most famous thing ever because I'm the imagery, the symbol of imagination. I'm the God of this world. I'm the most famous thing ever. I am Jesus Christ.
Underneath the moon sky, feel the vibe. Island breezes whisper low like the live tribe. Nana dance through the night, heart so free. With every swaying step, she's a melody. Roots in the sun, the only guide. When Nana guide us home. Through waters wild, to love we roam. River of AMOR, flowing through our veins. True self reflected in love's strong chains. Together we rise, wash away the stains. Our souls intertwined, dancing in refrains. In the sunshine we never lost, just found echoes of laughter, we move through that sound. Colors of the sunset paint the ocean deep with not a spirit viv, but wait, never sleep. Unity we rise, no need to hide. The river speaks, it knows our name. Through every wave, we're called to reclaim. River of AMOR, flowing through our veins. Truths that reflected in love's strong chains. Together we rise, wash away the stains. Our souls intertwined, dancing in refrains. River of AMOR, flowing through our veins. Truths that reflected in love's strong chains. Together we rise, wash away the stains. Our souls intertwined, dancing in refrain. Sunflower, Sita, and you shine forever bright. In the rhythm of love, we ignite.